Yo, what is good guys, back here with another YouTube video, and in case you cannot tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my honest thoughts and opinions on someone or something going on in this wacky weird world called pro wrestling. As you can tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my thoughts and opinions on the prize fighter, one of the, being a little bit biased, best wrestlers to come out of not only Quebec but all of Canada. That is Mr. Wrestling Kevin Owens. For myself personally, I would love to know what your thoughts are on him down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. And when it comes to Kevin Owens, I'll be completely biased. Completely honest, I'm going to be biased, kind of deal, in the fact that, one, he's a fellow Canuck, fellow Canadian. Granted, he's from Quebec, he's from originally from a town not too far away from Montreal. I'm from a small city slash town, depending on which way you would want to look at it. Kind of, sort of, somewhat close to Toronto. Toronto, Montreal don't necessarily like each other, but when it comes to Kevin Owens, it's a different story, kind of deal, which is why I would want your thoughts and opinions on him. And I'm going to be biased partly because of that, and partly because when I first started watching Ring of Honor back in 2011, like on a regular basis, Kevin Owens, then known as Kevin Steen, was one of the bigger reasons why I tuned in to Ring of Honor. It was honestly one of those 80-20, 80% Jimmy Jacobs, 20% Kevin Steen kind of deal and whatnot for myself personally. Yeah, it was cool to see Ring of Honor, but those two were like the two, for myself personally, anchors of ROH back then and for years to come, honestly. And he has been one of those guys, I don't know for sure if this makes sense, but one of those guys for myself personally, no matter what kind of mindset I'm in, whether I was a smart mark back in 2011, looking everything I could up on wrestling as a 17-year-old kid kind of deal, or as a 29-year-old adult that just wants to be sports entertained, Kevin Owens has given that kind of entertainment for myself personally in that decade plus, and he's one of those guys for myself personally. Him and Sami Zayn, really that kind of, I don't want to say put Canada on the map kind of deal, but there were guys that I grew up watching, like The Edge, Christian, you can throw in Chris Jericho, to a certain extent Benoit. I don't know for sure if you would want to count him, but like those guys represented Canada to myself, and kind of the people who are a little bit younger than myself that started watching, let's say in 2010, that are Canadian, they seen guys like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn get that representation kind of deal, on performing on a bigger stage, whether it's with each other or against each other kind of deal, especially two guys from Quebec kind of deal and whatnot. But either way, for myself personally, he's one of those guys, whether he's a good guy or bad guy, I always am sports entertained kind of deal. He's, again, being biased, good in the ring, but I find him more entertaining on the mic kind of deal. I have not had any social media interactions with him. Technically, I never met him kind of deal, but one of my favorite Ring of Honor memories was from my very first ROH show back in 2013. He was not booked on the show, but he's from Quebec kind of deal, so I think everybody in Toronto figured that he would be there some way, shape, or form. He ran from the back, outside, like through the crowd. He pushed me from behind, jumped the barricade kind of deal, and whatnot. And at first I thought I was going to get my butt whooped kind of deal, but I seen it was Kevin Owens, and that's like, I don't want to say the peak of me marking out, but that was, if I had to show an example of me marking out in real time, it would be quite possibly that moment. That might be on camera kind of deal and whatnot. But either way, for myself personally, he's one of those guys that has not only made me proud to be a wrestling fan, kind of deal, but a wrestling fan from Canada. Granted, again, he's from Quebec. I'm from Southern Ontario. We don't really see eye to eye when it comes to sports and stuff and whatnot in general outside of wrestling. But still, one of those like, yeah, I'm a Canadian wrestling fan. Kevin Owens, he's a fellow Canuck, kind of. I think he lives in Florida, but not dealing with winters. I don't blame him, kind of deal and whatnot. But either way, those are my thoughts and opinions on Kevin Owens. Would love to know what yours are down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. More importantly than doing any of that, hope you guys are doing okay mentally, emotionally, and physically.
The world that we tend to make up is nothing but a fantasy until you wake up. I feel like I'm just lying to myself, yeah. Cause I just crossed the line like I'm playing offside. I do it how I want and I'ma do it till I die. Feel like I'm just lying to myself, but it's